Hey guys, today is Tuesday, September 15th, and I am 37 weeks and 2 days pregnant and checking in finally. If you've been following along on Instagram, you know that we actually took a trip to Walt Disney World over the weekend, which was crazy. I would absolutely never advise one of my patients to make that trip this far into pregnancy, but you know, we had been talking a couple of weeks back, and my husband and I decided to just pull the trigger. We actually had some free tickets that we needed to utilize, and I'm so glad that we did it. Gray turned 3 on Friday, so he got to wake up at Disney World, and we just had a really good trip. You know, with all the craziness of 2020, it was just nice to go to, you know, the happiest place on earth. And I think Disney has done a really good job of, you know, making people feel safe and trying to uphold that Disney spirit and magic, even with all the weirdness from COVID. So of course they require masks, and there's hand sanitizer stations everywhere, and they're cleaning the rides. They'll pause the ride so that they can clean them. I'm not sure like what the intervals are, but it seems like pretty regularly. So they did awesome with that. And you know, you still got that Disney magic feeling, but I will say it was weird. It was weird seeing everybody in masks. Just this whole year has been weird, and that definitely carried through at Disney World. But it was diminished capacity, so wasn't super crowded, but I would definitely say over the weekend, like, we were waiting in some long lines for rides. Disney also did a really good job of overestimating how long you would need to wait. So it was always a nice surprise when, you know, it said an hour wait time, and then you got up there in 40 minutes. And so we really got to do everything we wanted to do. Of course, this pregnant mama couldn't do a lot of the thrill rides, but it was still a really good time. And I loved seeing the boys. Gray was tall enough now to do some of the rides he wasn't tall enough for last year when we took them. So it was really good, and I'm so glad we did it. I'm definitely sore. I've got some shin splints going on. My pelvis is sore, but my body held up way better than I expected being this far along in pregnancy. I was a little bit worried that we were going to be delivering a baby down in Florida, but we made it home, and I'm actually just coming off a clinic day. And I did a couple Mercia therapies today and seemed to be doing okay. And then I went ahead and had acupuncture and got adjusted today, just to kind of help give my body a little bit of love. And I'm just gonna put my feet up and kind of relax for the rest of the evening. We are now doing weekly visits with our midwife. So we saw her on Wednesday and met her nurse, likely the one who will be in attendance for our birth. Got all of our birth supplies ready to go. Have to get a couple more things kind of in order, but I've started to organize baby clothes and diapers. Need to get some wipes, but all that stuff is coming along. And you know, I don't know when this little one's gonna show up. I still think he's gonna show up between 39 and 40 weeks. Midwife is thinking around 38 weeks. And at this point, I would just like him to give me about another week at least, so that I can finish up with my patients, because I go on maternity leave officially after the 22nd. So I want to be able to tie up some loose ends in clinic and make sure that all of my patients are taken care of, and that the other providers aren't kind of just left feeling overwhelmed with work that I wasn't able to finish. And that's really the goal. And then after that, he is welcome to make his way earthside. We are so excited. Nash is asking me pretty much every day when the baby's gonna come out, and it's getting more real, and it's cool to see him getting so excited. I did my GBS test last week, and my midwife texted me that it was negative, so that's great. GBS is Group B strep, and many women are colonized with it at various points in their life, but during pregnancy, we get tested usually around 3 to 5 weeks before delivery because it can cause some complications. They're super, super rare, but it can cause some complications with baby after birth if baby gets infected. So it's something that is monitored, and then you'll be offered antibiotics during labor if you test positive. And so luckily I tested negative. I've never tested positive for it. And so that made me really happy. So it's one less thing that we have to worry about. So I'm going to chalk it up to all those probiotics and all the fermented food that I love to eat throughout, I mean, normal life, but definitely in pregnancy. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I mean, I feel huge. My belly is like, yeah, my belly feels really big. It's getting harder and harder to walk around. I feel like I'm definitely waddling a lot more, having pretty intense Braxton Hicks contractions, especially at night. Like I'll have really intense contractions that wake me up, and I'll have to kind of switch positions. And I feel like I'm more sore from just the way that I sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I gotta like kind of crawl out of bed, and once I get moving and blood flowing, that all feels much better. But that's definitely when I feel the most sore and uncomfortable. So I know this baby is moving down. He's really sitting low, and yeah, that's pretty much my update. So I'm gonna go in and unload some groceries and love on my boys, and I will check in again next week.